Hey Aaron, how we doing this evening?
Good. I am super excited for tonight.
Dude, I know we got like a awesome mashup.
We do. 1 year anniversary show. Si well, 5 guests. One had to back out at the last minute, not feeling well. That's all right though. We'll
It's that
figure it
time of
out.
year.
It is. And he works in schools. So,
Oh God,
you know,
yeah. Around
yeah,
petri dishes all day. Yep.
yeah. So let's get it going.
All right.
All right, Jason, here we are. one
Here
year
we
anniversary.
are. Man, this year has flown by.
We did 51 shows.
Wow.
Actually, we did a couple more. We did 52, 50, maybe 53 shows because I know we did the special where we kind of talked about Gettysburg.
Yep.
And then we also did a special talking about locations. So,
Yes, that's right.
yeah, it's like 53 shows. That's great.
51 different people from the paranormal field we've talked to, either about equipment they make or, you know, cool places to investigate or places they own to investigate.
Yeah. Um, so crazy that, you know, that we started this on a whim. We're kind of like, hey, I've thought about doing a podcast for a while. And you were like, hey, I thought about doing a podcast for a while. And it's like, okay, we're going to start one on this date,
Yep.
you know?
And
And
then, yeah, next thing you know, we got StreamYard and all the gear, and it's like, holy crap, this is happening, man.
this
Like,
is going.
and I
Yeah.
remember our first show; it was rough,
First
just
show
learning how to find
was,
our feet talking, and
yeah. I mean, really, we're sitting here, you get feedback, but you're talking into, looking at your screen or you're looking at your camera, and it's quite the adventure to start up and just decide that that's what you're going to do, right? It's
yep,
pretty interesting. And
it
then,
is.
I'm on this page where that's what people are doing. They want to start podcasts, and it's like, know what you're talking about first,
Yeah,
or something close to, and you can learn as you go. I've thought about it. I was like, I kind of like doing this. Maybe a second night of something, and we've talked about it.
yeah,
You know, the idea of like I would find something that I wanted to talk about, and then kind of let you know what it is, so you could do a little research to ask questions, and then we just talk about stuff, be it a
yep,
conspiracy theory or a cryptid or anything, right?
yeah. And that's where I kind of came up with that because a lot of stuff that I don't know, and I know a lot about cryptids and stuff like that that you don't know, and so I get to learn something and then talk about something you're passionate about too. Is just that sounds like a lot of fun to me.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I've gotten to know, quite a bit about Bigfoot this year, something that I maybe had a slight interest in, and I would watch a show or two, but definitely a little more deeper. And I'm ready to head down south a little bit, and we go out in the Subaru and
Yep,
try to find us a Bigfoot, right?
go find us a Sasquatch. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I tell you, I am itching to get up into Idaho. Um, there's this in southern Idaho, right there on the Utah border. Man, there's this canyon that all of a sudden there's all this military presence up there. Blackhawks flying in and out, and all sorts of Sasquatch and other paranormal type sightings happening. And I was
Interesting.
reading some stories that people that go camping up there, they're like, we'll never go up there again. We'll bring our RV somewhere else. It's just it gets too crazy up there. So of
Wow.
course I hear that and I'm like, well, I want to go.
That's yeah, right. Um, I mean, we talked to Alan from uh
Yep.
gosh, I always mix up his team's name, but they did the haunting in Blue Hill.
Yep.
And, he took some people out to do some squatching, and we may see a book from a guest next week on a Bigfoot. Who knows?
Yeah. Yep.
So,
And yeah, they've got a couple projects in the works with the sightings that are, being found down there, and
yeah,
looking forward to getting him back on, and maybe being able to talk about his latest film he puts out and see what they've
right.
got going on.
And cryptids. Besides Bigfoot, all the other cryptids that we've talked about that, people have been on. Your favorite cryptid being,
Yeah, Fresno Nightcrawler,
right?
Walking
And,
Tooth. Yep.
and then I was really interested in that the Colorado one. Again, I would
The
mess it up.
Rockside Bolter.
Rock slide bolter. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
a
cool
big
stuff
whale
out
that
there.
just hooks his tail into a mountain and waits for, miners and trappers to come by and
Yeah.
creates a rock slide and eats them up. Yeah, it's really cool seeing where these types of things come from too.
It is. So getting into our guests, the very first guest we had on our very first show was Kim and Scott Horn from Horn Paranormal Research. Everyone hears them at the end of our show every week. And I'm excited to have them on as the first guest for our anniversary show, too.
Yeah, that's really cool that we were able to work that out.
Yeah, so we're going to bring them in and see what they've been up to.
Awesome.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey, how we doing?
Good. How are you? Busy
Good.
year.
It has been a busy year. We got to talk to you a little bit before we went live, and so much going on. We haven't even gotten anything out this year. We've been doing some events and filming, but not getting anything out. So we're working on that.
Hey, you guys were talking about cryptids, and I saw somebody had wrote a little post, and I had to laugh about the jackalope. You guys are in Wyoming. They call it a cryptid now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They
Yep.
actually do it.
That's on our that is the Unraveling the Darkness mascot.
Yeah.
He's in our logo now. So yeah, that was
There
pretty
you
fun
go.
to be able to add that. A guy in Douglas designed that
Nice.
and just said, "Here, guys, use it." So yeah, we're super happy that we got to do that and support a
Right.
Wyoming person.
Yes. I was 5 years old when I lived in Douglas, and they sold those everywhere. Even Wall Drug, I think, sold them. You know where
Yep.
Wall Drug is, so.
Who doesn't
Yeah.
know where Wall Drug is with all their signs?
Oh my gosh, right?
4 states away, you know where they're from.
Yep.
Right.
Great ice water, Tinsic cones.
Yep.
Oh, it was, I lived I grew up in that area up around there, and I had never stopped there until like two or 3 years ago. Gina and I were coming across 90 and we stopped in. I'm like, okay, I got to stop. So here I was like late 40s, after being up in South Dakota for years. So yeah, it was funny.
Yeah. Who needs Buc-ee's when you have Wall Drug, right?
Oh,
right.
now watch it.
Them
Classic.
fighting words with Aaron.
Brisket sandwich at 2 a.m. on the way home from a Denver investigation.
That was nice. Yeah.
So what have you guys been up to this last year?
You know, how you were saying you haven't done much this year or felt like you guys done much? I'm the same way. I've been working so hard, but I think we've put out one piece of equipment
For ourselves.
for ourselves, which is that, or Full Spectrum
Full
SLS.
spectrum, which we were
Yeah.
able to get and use, and it's amazing. We're going to get some stuff, and people will be able to see how that is.
Yeah, we've done several projects for locations. I know people that follow us have just saw we put out for Rhodes Hotel the little piano music box.
Yep, that's cool.
Just released that.
Well, I tell you, the stuff you're designing and putting out is just amazing.
Well, thank you. And I was just sitting here looking because this is the shell of the spirit box we did for Rhodes Hotel. And I guess that was this year we dropped that out too, or maybe after
we were on anyway.
Yeah, for sure. And that guy right there, I probably spent months designing that thing. It's all pre-designed in CAD. So,
Right, and it is a replica of the Rhodes Hotel, right?
yep,
Yes.
yep,
Wow.
yeah. So it's built in 3 pieces. The porch, it's screwed on there in the main body, and then the roof. Just the porch takes, I think, like 35 hours to print.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So, and the whole thing takes
Ugh.
about like 85 hours to print one.
The supports go up
So-
through those little rails, and he has to pull them out, and it's like
Oh,
not to break
yeah.
off the porch
Yeah,
pieces, or
it's-
it's 30 some hours of reprinting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
How
you know,
many
it's,
torches did you break trying it?
oh, we broke several at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's all
I-
I'll admit to is a couple.
A lot of
I
custom
recently-
going on in this house.
I recently got into 3D printing, and it is definitely a hobby that requires patience.
Yeah.
And yeah, spend 12, 14 hours printing something. Those dang supports are still biting me in the butt now. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll
Yep,
get to
when
it's always the last one too, and you're like, all right, this is going to
Yep.
turn out good, and then it snaps.
Yeah, most people think, you buy a 3D printer, I'm just going to print stuff. But printing is just half of it,
Yep.
I don't think I've printed more than maybe 5 items
Yeah.
in the 3 or 4 years I've been printing stuff that I haven't designed. Almost
Nice.
from day one, I started,
Yeah.
doing everything myself, and I just was like,
You go-
trial and error.
You go to those events and you'll see stuff, and you can buy the files to print. And a lot of those people at events have bought the little furry pets and print them and sell them.
Which is fine.
And they're neat. They're
Yep.
super neat, cool gadgets. But I have to say, Scott, this is all our brainchild, like ideas that we have towards the thing. And then he puts it all in the CAD and designs it. So I'm really
So
proud of him.
I want to show something here that we haven't shown
Yeah.
at all.
Well,
Sweet.
we partnered up with Booze, Brews, and Barbecue. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
If you seen,
Nope. I'm going to reach out to those guys and see if we can get them on this year.
Okay.
so
yes.
this is a piece of equipment that's specific for them. I designed it for them. It's based off our Prox box, which is a proximity music box, basically. And they just used it last week, I think, or so. They did do a little blurb of it on one of their files, but this is what it is.
You see that?
Oh, yeah.
That
With their
is
logo.
It's got their logo.
Is that a little
Wow.
dragon on the bottom?
There
It's
you
a
go.
gargoyle.
Oh, gargoyle.
So it's got
That
a
is
plasma,
cool.
plasma
There you go.
disc in it. So I got the volume turned down, but so when it goes off, it lights up.
Nice.
So,
That's
That's
the
really
logo in
cool.
the middle that lights up.
so
And I have to say this, just in case Jeff Bent's watching. He made a box using that plasma light, and we had that, and we hadn't had it released. So like, he used the plasma light on his box. Oh, I hope he doesn't think we're copying him. It just was a coincidence, I swear, Jeff. But we must both have thought it was really cool.
yeah, so
So-
that piece, I don't know if that's going to ever be available to the public or not. Kind of depends on
What they
those
decide,
guys.
yeah.
So we gotta, we're doing a lot of stuff with them. We're trying to, because their show's going to be coming out next spring, early next year.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then the merchandising, that's what we teamed up on. So there's going to be stuff sold, and we're not sure what'll be sold through their website merchandising teaming up with, and what is just going to be for their show that they're going to use. We haven't had that conversation yet, but we've been giving them lots of different stuff. So
Very
because
cool.
we want our stuff out there, and
Yeah.
so that's kept us really busy. And
Well, and-
Scott, he's been working other clients too, like the Washoe Club. I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So,
Scott Burrell's he's a really good guy.
So we do EMF meters. This is actually what we designed for them, and then we used a version for ourselves. This is just the housing. So he rents these out for his tours, and then he has some on hand to buy, for people like a souvenir. And then one of the other things he just released is a token collection set. There's 5 tokens.
This is pretty cool. I did see
Yeah.
this on
Yep.
your site and the Washoe site, and
Yep. So there's
these are
5
slick.
5 tokens. It was designed by Debbie Bender, right?
Yep.
And then we took the logo and made tokens out of them. They're actually like free drink tokens and
Quite
stuff.
the artist. If you were to look at the detail on these,
Yeah, this
and
is,
then it took
this is
Scott a long time to take that and transfer that into making
Yep.
it on a coin. But
that's pretty cool
once
setup.
he got it, it's pretty neat. We joked about it with Scott. It's like, we get free drinks now, right? Because we're the holder. of
You
the
can just-
coins.
You're printing your own money. Yep.
I'm gonna print up a couple plates of tokens and go up and
Yeah.
spin them.
Heck yeah.
Nice. There you go.
So,
Yeah, people are also going to see your stuff on our episodes when we get those
Yeah.
going again. We have the REM pod that you guys use, and the XLS, the full spectrum SLS. We did a live when we were up in Butte at the
Nice.
Dumas Brothel,
Cool
down in the
place, huh?
basement with the XLS. That place is phenomenal. I know you guys were up there.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. we wanna go
So
back for
yeah,
sure.
the XLS was crazy in the
Yes.
rooms in the basement.
I can't say enough about that place. We were testing a spirit box there, and we had it in the room with the mirror upstairs.
Oh,
Yep.
huh?
And it was sitting on the floor and as clear as a bell. I think we put it on our Facebook
Yeah,
page.
we were talking about seeing if that was a portal in that room.
Oh my goodness. A man comes through just clear as a bell and says, I don't think that's a good idea. And that
Oh,
was all we
interesting.
caught. And we're all
Wow.
going, whoa. Yeah. I don't think that's a
So
very good
yeah,
idea.
what was your thought of the basement?
We were doing an Estes method where we had somebody upstairs and we were downstairs asking questions through a
through the walkie.
and we were getting direct responses.
Oh,
Interesting.
So
Yeah,
it
we didn't really investigate it that hard, the basement compared to the third floor or second floor. But yeah, that Estes stuff is pretty cool.
yeah.
we have our next guest over here with a comment. Love the XLS, Mackenzie from XX Paranormal. Yeah. What can you not love about it, right?
We're one of the things that we have on the XLS and the SLS is that 180-degree screen. You know how we made sure that,
that
we
is so
recoded.
nice.
Yeah. And that
Yes.
sets it above the others because it's confusing to look up and say, I think it's over here, when you know, it's right there.
Yep.
Right.
So,
Yep.
and some of the things that I've been doing this year, I didn't do the pay it forward this year, but what I would do is sometimes I'd go on and do little raffles with my, my little rim pods because I crochet. So I was making the little rim pods. This one is a gift for somebody, but see, lighten up. So sometimes, and the reason I'm showing you
That's
guys these,
cute.
thanks. I got this little ghost I just did that I'm going to have. He's on there. Scott made it, and I'm numbering them.
Nice.
And then his hands and his eyes light up. But these, I'm going to make them in batches and number them too. And then this guy I made for Halloween, Mr. Pumpkinhead.
Oh,
He's
well,
so
look at
ugly.
those.
He little
Those are
scarecrow.
awesome.
And then I made an owl. But the reason I'm showing these is because we're planning on doing something for Rhodes on my birthday, on New Year's Eve. My birthday's New Year's, and I turned 55. So we're going to go to Rhodes Hotel for New Year's Eve, and we're going to do a raffle, and we're going to do some pay it forward. And I'm going to probably make some stuff like this in advance, have you go to our post and say, yes, I want, and put it in the post one's listed. And then I'm going to do a drawing for a free one. So that's how I'm
Nice.
going to do it, pay it forward for my birthday. Thanks, Gina.
I tell you, if you come out with
Your
another
wife's
voodoo
probably
doll
saying,
one,
honey, I want
I'll
one.
scoop it up.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
I'm going to do that. That's kind of a little peek of what I'm going to have prepared there. And then there's another thing we're going to probably do because Robin Terry has this ongoing thing with Mike and actually with Crystal Couch there where the pie throwing thing. So we're going to probably do like a $5 raffle ticket in there. And if we draw your name, you get to pick who the pie gets thrown at and by who. So just some
that's
fun
great.
birthday stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Nice. Well, we'll be watching the page for that,
Okay.
see all this live stuff that you're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking at your site now with everything you guys have for sale. And it's amazing the equipment.
We're gonna
you're putting
redo our
out.
site.
What's your like hottest item? What do you what's kind of
Actually,
selling
right now it's
right now?
between the full spectrum
In the XLS.
SLS and XLS.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's a toss up.
Yeah.
It's kind of a preference thing. People are like, well, they like the lighting on the one, but they like the mapping on the other. And so sometimes people get one and they come back by the other one. So there's, which one do we want?
Yeah, we're going to be revamping our website here in the next month, get a little better professional looking, and then we're probably going to drop some of our products that we have on there or replace them. Because I think last I counted, I got like 5 different things I'm working on for our stuff.
Oh, okay.
And the next item is going to be a spirit box. I know that's been out there. We've kind
Yeah.
of told that. So hopefully in the next week, I got a spirit box coming out.
It's really neat. I
So,
mean, the
yeah.
design's really neat. It's
Sure.
something that people would be like want to keep just because of the design, and it's small, so easy. And that's where our thought is going into the future is backpack sides, portable stuff. People are flying to location. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go show them, honey.
So one,
Well, and
Yeah.
that's what we learned this year because we flew to Gettysburg
Yeah.
and had to find a backpack that we could do that with. You know, we had a new thermal that we had to get in there, and we had to get all
Yeah.
this stuff in there. And you don't want to check it because then they're like, "Ooh, what's in this?" And I'd rather definitely take it on with me and be able to explain. Nope, this is what this is, and they
Yep.
see it.
Not
you
a
know?
detonator. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Well, these make
You know,
these
all
So-
these boxes with the little toggle switches and a red and green light.
right?
You know?
Right?
Yeah.
So this is one of our first prototypes. You can see
It's little.
how small it is.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
This is a REM.
So
Oh.
yeah,
I like the multi lights.
Yep.
and then we're gonna do like
So
a colored one similar to that, like for
Yeah.
motion. And so that's stuff you can just toss in your gear. So you still get your REM pod, you get your EMF, you get those little things to make room so you can take your XLS along or whatever in your pack.
rechargeable batteries.
Yes, that's cute
Oh,
too.
that's nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Were those slots for straps I saw on the side, or?
They're just grooves.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
gotcha.
design.
Yeah. So this was a case that I made. I'm eliminating the latches and everything. I've already got design for screws for
Gotcha.
the lid.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to do probably a motion sensor, an EMF. So that, I mean, for the size of a regular REM pod, you could probably get
Yeah, 3.
4 to 5 of these
Oh,
in that
yeah.
same
Oh, geez.
storage
Storage.
space. Yeah. So
Well,
And
guys,
when do you
if-
anticipate those coming out? Sorry, Aaron.
you're good.
a couple weeks maybe.
Yeah,
Couple weeks,
they're
cool.
coming.
We
I've
look
got
forward
some
to seeing
big
those, and
projects
yeah.
coming.
we'll share that on
Trying to-
the Unraveling page and the WoW page. You know,
Yeah,
we'd like
thank
to
you.
support you guys. So.
Be on track here.
We've got a lot bigger items coming out, some big announcements coming that are going to be like, wow. So stay with us and just kind of keep an eye on our page because he's stepping up his game. Scott's
Sweet.
with his coding and stuff. So
Yeah, we
Yeah.
appreciate all of you
Yes.
that's following us or that have bought stuff from us. So
yes.
thank you.
Well, and we
I've had that
appreciate you
itch
guys
to.
too.
I've had that itch to buy gear lately, and I've been holding off till tonight to talk to you guys before I buy anything. So sweet.
Christmas is around the corner.
Nope, we're not
Exactly.
building anything else, anything new. You can go ahead and buy stuff right now.
Okay.
Put in your Christmas list early. That's what
Good
you
point.
do.
Right. Guys, 15 minutes goes so quick.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you coming on for the anniversary show. As a first guest, we definitely wanted to have you back.
We
Awesome.
appreciate
Thank
you
you.
guys. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right,
Thanks,
it's great
guys.
seeing
We'll
you
make
all.
sure that we
Thanks.
share everything that you put out and get some people over to buy some stuff.
Yeah.
And
Right
look
on.
for some orders from us.
Okay.
Good night, guys.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank
Have a good night.
Take care.
All right. Moving right along. The Horns are great people. Mackenzie was over there and talked about the XLS. Mackenzie is with XX Paranormal and happens to be our next guest.
Hi there.
Hey, how we doing, Mackenzie?
Hey,
Oh, I'm doing great. What a tough act to follow. What a talented and creative power team. I love it. So great.
they
Yeah.
are. We love them. They're such nice people too,
Yes.
They do these raffles and you pay $20 to get in on like the XLS. And I'm like, anyone who wins that is absolutely lucky for $20.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So, yeah. So how are you guys? How's XX doing?
Oh, we are doing fantastic. We had a great time with y'all in Cheyenne. And since then have just done a couple local things, but we're gearing up for a big investigation on Halloween. And I've never done a paranormal investigation on Halloween, so I'm absolutely stoked.
Nice.
Well, and I mean, we're lucky enough that we have had your guest for the Halloween event
Yes.
on our show as well. So Callie Smith,
Cheryl. Yeah. Or well,
Carol.
she goes by
Oh.
Callie Cheryl on Facebook. It might be Callie Smith that she
Yeah, she was Callie
Oh,
when we
okay.
talked to her.
Yeah.
She's like, it's not Kalia, and I was like, okay. Thanks.
I
That's
made
what I
that
would have
mistake
said.
when I first met her. So
Such a great person too.
yes,
But she helped invent the Estes method in
yes.
Estes Park, Colorado, which is right between the both of us. So you're going to have her at your event.
Yes, yes, I'm so excited because she used to be the resident investigator at the Stanley Hotel. So she has plenty of stories about that, about all of the, famous ghost hunters she came across during her time there. And then, yeah, I would love to kind of hear more from her about how she developed the Estes method and just it's great to have that person there at the investigation to be like, here's how it works. Here's why I did it this way, and just walk everyone through it. I'm really excited.
Well, and I hope that everyone gets to see her perform the Estes method.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
that is the goal.
Yeah. So is that event sold out?
It is sold out. It's been sold out for a little bit, actually. We keep our groups really small. So there were only 18 tickets, I think, this time around. And we usually do 16. So we added a couple more this time around. And then we usually split up into 2 or 3 groups from there just to make sure there's no noise pollution and everyone can hear the equipment when it's going and, have a good experience. Because I have been on some of those events where there's so many people that it's difficult to experience
Yep.
anything. And I think it scares the spirits off too. So
Right. And is this going to be held at 4 Mile Park?
yes, it is. Yep.
We had the privilege of coming down to do an investigation with you at an event and check out 4 Mile Park.
Yeah,
Such
you know
a
what?
cool place.
My favorite part of that was when I believe it was your wife that was picking up on a name, and she said, I keep getting the name Sadie. And afterwards, we were able to verify that that was a real person that lived over on Cherry Street that I believe was the first sheriff or woman sheriff or police officer that lived nearby.
Right. Yep, I do recall that.
Yeah,
was
so
cool.
that was really neat to verify that.
What do you guys have coming up? Anything other than this event this weekend?
This is what we've got going on for now. Christine and I went on a tour recently of a very well-known haunted hotel in Denver, and we have been talking with one of their tour guides to see if we could possibly get in there for an investigation. So that's very up in the air, but I'm like crossing my fingers because that would be really neat if that works out.
Do I see a XX Paranormal Wow Paranormal collab?
Absolutely.
I think I
would love
know
to
what
have
hotel
y'all.
you're talking about. So
there will definitely be more collaborations. Don't you worry. So
you guys are so fun to work with, and I think we work well with each other.
absolutely.
We did a team collab event where we invited 13 teams along the Front Range to come investigate with us. 7 responded, and you guys were one of them. To come up to the Knights building, that's our home haunt.
Yeah, and I've got to say really quick, for those of you listening, if you have not been on an investigation with Way Out West Paranormal, they throw a heck of an event. They are organized. They had snacks. They had drinks. They had history of the building. They were so organized and put on, like they thought of all of the details, in addition to it just being an awesome location and great people. So it was amazing.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much. And I'm sure the girls would also thank you.
Yes. Yeah. And I got to share my favorite part of
Please
that
do.
investigation. I had a few, but Jason was doing the Estes method, and we had a new toy that we were trying out, which was a tracking light on the floor.
Mhm.
And so this light was just, it's normally a blue light that's going back and forth across the floor. And we're like, oh, we haven't really used it that much. We're not sure if, much is going to happen. And, Jason's obviously just saying what he's hearing come through on the spirit box. And all of a sudden he goes, watch this. And then right after that, this light turns like pink, like a big portion of this light turns pink. And we were just completely shocked that happened. And then Jason, of course, didn't even know it happened until after.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Was that in Clown Room?
It was where
Splatter paint?
It was like the Scream room, I think, where all like the Scream masks were.
Yep. So the one right after
No,
Clowns, Aaron.
yep,
Yep.
yep.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so
You
that
know,
was really cool.
that room's interesting. Like we've gone from nothing to what sounded like a timber snapping in half in that room.
That was so weird.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool that watch this and then it changes color.
Yeah.
And that's the room I got the high five in too, with the I think it was the XLS we were using. And we
Yeah,
had this figure crawling across the wall and stopped in the middle of the room. And I'm like, well, if you're there, give me a high five. And this thing reached down and gave me a high five on the SLS. Really
Oh
cool.
my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
And
Another
then
horn product that, works and
Yes.
catches evidence.
yes, highly recommend. I mean, follow them even for the raffles and try and win one if you're still saving up. Like that's an awesome piece of equipment. My other favorite part of that investigation was I think it was BJ Segura from they have a podcast as well, 3 Haunted podcast. He was there, and we had a REM pod. And we believe there was a child spirit, and he would just like wave his hand over the REM pod like 3 or 4 times, and then right after that, the REM pod would just like kind of emulate what he was doing. So we believe a child spirit. It was like Simon Says with the REM pod, and that was a really cool.
And that was in the basement.
That was in kind of like in the hallway by the clown room, right, Jason?
Yeah.
Yep.
We know who that is.
Yep. We
Yeah.
know who that is.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a great spirit to talk to.
Yep.
Interacts really well with us. Gina has gotten some great stuff from her lately. Grandma had an apple orchard and she wanted an
Yes.
apple, so we took an apple down to her. So yeah, that building is amazing.
Yep. She's
Yeah,
been seen a
there's-
couple times throughout the haunted house this year too already.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's amazing that you get so many different energies in each of the different rooms. It's like they're different locations altogether.
Yep. So true. From, just to throw out like some of the spirits we've talked to from Marvin. He's in that black corner room right after the white room.
Yep.
Okay.
In the white room, like we don't even know who we're talking to there, but we've had disembodied voices from the room before that. And then Katie, which is
Mhm.
who BJ was interacting with. I mean, yeah,
And then we
It's-
have no idea still about the clown room, except that they are grumpy.
you get grumpy.
Yeah,
So,
don't sit in a particular chair that someone
Yep.
doesn't want you to sit in. Probably has nothing to do with the coffin that's in there.
Yep.
right. Yep. So, it's been so great to like be able to collab with people in the region, and see these different places that you probably weren't able to get into, for quite some time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad that there seems to be a little bit more of approachability with some locations, that they seem a little more open to it. I feel like more recently. I know like in the past you'd reach out to some places and they don't want to be associated with that, with a place being haunted, and it's still like that some places, but it's nice to see. So
Well, the hotel that you're talking about,
Mhm.
probably like that because, we've reached out to the house several times with no response. So,
Mhm. Yeah,
Yep.
so we'll see
But-
what happens there.
yeah.
That'd be really fun.
What is the goal for XX in the next year?
Oh, that's a great question. We're building our team a little bit. Ayana's been on the team for about a year and a half now. And then we have another investigator who kind of is recently joining us, doesn't have investigations experience, but is kind of on a very personal spiritual journey. Had a family member pass, which is really kind of intrigued her about the paranormal and kind of the other side. So we're interested to see how she does on the team and kind of get her up and going. And then I think we're just trying to get into some new locations. We have a lot of people that are like, oh, we love your event at 4 Mile. It's so much fun. Are you going to do other locations? And So I think the goal for next year will be to try and hold some events in other locations, because I know there's a lot of people that want to experience different places. And I know there's definitely some locations that are open to that. But of course, some of those locations are a bit of a drive, so it's a little bit more difficult to coordinate that. So just kind of trying to figure out some logistics from there, and hopefully get into some new locations, I think would be really fun. So do some more team building and try and get into some new places and hold events in some new places, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's kind of sounds like the WOW goals over the next year,
Yeah,
Look
I was
for
just
some
going to
new
ask you the same
places and,
question back. Yeah.
we need to start sharing your events more, and some of our people can go down to yours and your people could come up to ours, and we
Absolutely.
can, what's an hour and a half?
It's
Nothing
really
out
not.
here.
That's
Nothing
like,
here.
yeah, I have my Colorado Spiritual and Spooky Events Facebook group, and I share your stuff in there because I'm like, yeah, Cheyenne is right there. So it is
Right.
not much. It's closer than some parts of Colorado. So it only makes sense.
It does. And we appreciate that. And, we do share your events as well. So,
Absolutely.
Mackenzie, again, just like the horns, 15 minutes has gone by
Yeah.
so quick. We
Way
should
too
have
quick.
done more. But we would have done this till midnight. So
No, thank you so much for having me. It was great catching up with you both, and congrats on your 1-year anniversary of your podcast.
thank you.
Yeah, thank
And
you so
please
much.
tell
Thanks for
Christine
coming on.
and Ayana hello for us too.
I will. Absolutely. Take care.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, what a great team.
Yes.
We were, like I said, we were able to go down there with them, investigate a great place, 4 Mile Park.
That place was
and
so
then-
cool.
It is. And if you don't know about 4 Mile Park, you can look up that history, but it was 4 miles from downtown Denver back in the 1800s. It was the last stage stop before they got into Denver. So people would stop there and freshen up so they looked good when they get off on Broadway, which was the main street in Denver at the time.
Yep.
So, and then it became a farm and all this stuff. And now it's like this park. We went down, we saw all the lights up when we were down there. Gina and I took Brent and Terry down when they were here visiting.
Oh, that's
And,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, that whole light display down there was really cool. So maybe a WOW field trip next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, just working with XX Paranormal, on that collab was so much fun. And the way they do events is, it's great. They've got the stories down, given the history of the place and the way they, handle the groups coming through. It's, yeah, just really professional, a lot of fun, and you'll learn a lot. So I highly recommend going to anything they're putting on.
Yep. And it sounds like Gina was able to help them pull a little more research out with the whole Sadie connection.
Gina, man, I tell you, the stuff that she has, it's I call her my like EV or Estes generator, because whenever we do a double Estes together, it's popping off. Like
It's, and I try to tell her this and other people, I'm like, when you tour together, you're like a EVP or S, because it's EVP really.
right.
You're like it's an antenna. You two are like this powerful antenna.
Yeah, it's so weird.
To where us as people asking questions honestly stop and watch because y'all will get talking back and forth. And
Well, that's
it's
the thing
crazy.
that always blows me away is, the crosstalk. And the first time I think that I ever had that happen with Gina was at the Nelson Museum doing that double Estes down there. And for some reason I had that picture of the waterfall. It was like a slap in the face. That thing was right there. And as soon as I started describing it, Gina, with noise canceling headphones on, starts going, he sees. And it's like, going back and watching that on video was just amazing.
Yeah, it was great to see in person. And yeah, absolutely floored me. I was like, oh my gosh, because I know you're not like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, look here.
Oh, that's right. It was.
So yeah. All right. Our next guest is Angie. I don't want to slaughter her last name. Hi, Angie.
Hey, Angie.
Hi, how
Michelle.
are you?
Yes. Good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. So the guest following you is unfortunately had to cancel. He's sick. So we got a little more time.
Okay.
And when our next one's after that come in, we'll kind of split that with you if they're in early. So
Okay.
because the 15 minutes that we've been using has gone by so fast.
It really is.
I'm sure.
What have you been up to? I know you're part of War Party
War Party
Paranormal. So
Yeah.
what has War Party been doing?
We went a couple things. We went to the Savannah Macabre Con. That was pretty awesome and pretty interesting. So we got to do an investigation at the Savannah Theater.
Okay, I'm already jealous. You
Yeah.
just went to Savannah.
Yep.
Savannah's awesome. The theater, this was my first time. I've been to Savannah a couple times, but this is my first time getting the opportunity to go into and do an investigation at the Savannah Theater, which really, really cool. I recommend it for anybody that is in that area. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got a great history. The space is fantastic, architecturally, historically, all of that. Haunted. Yeah, absolutely. We got some pretty cool stuff. You know, there was someone in there that hung himself, and his name Stephen. And Stephen was very young and totally into 90s music. So we did this really cool experiment where we played a lot of 90s music, and we kind of sang along with microphones that weren't turned on, and we got
awesome.
a lot of we got a lot of responses doing that, and it was fun and it was cool, and he enjoyed it, and he gave us some. We had the REM pods going off, and we got the spirit box was going off, and a few things. So he was kind of into the music. Probably wasn't into our singing, but we did it anyway.
That's awesome.
I always say I don't sing well, but I sing loud, so that kind of counts.
We kind of did the same thing. Labor Day weekend, we went to Dumas Brothel in Montana. We talked about that a little earlier in the show. It was a brothel from 1890 to 1982. So we kind of went through the eras. We did some 20s and some 40s and 50s, 60s, 70s music. And I can't recall, but I'm sure we got some hits on something.
Yeah, we got some hits on the REM, and I think the EMF tripwire during that.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
So it's
then
great
we also
to-
had in Gettysburg where we
Oh,
tried
yeah.
and we played some bugle calls and some some drum calls for the old cavalry stuff, and that completely changed the night right there.
Yeah, I've been finding that music is working a lot. Whether we're playing music on, our phone or whatever, or sometimes we'll do little sing-alongs and then stop and then hit
Let them join in.
hit the recorder. We'll stop, hit the recorder, and let them finish. And depending on where we are, Metallica works a lot.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
we've gotten a lot. We get a lot of response to when we sing Metallica again.
Well, I'm
We don't
sure
sing
the
well.
spirits are relieved, getting something like that instead of asking, what's your name for the, 10 millionth time, right?
Exactly.
It's like,
They're like, "Yeah, we
finally,
can have
instead
some
of
fun
asking me
with
to make
that."
some noise, you're making some noise. I can get with this.
Right. Yeah. So did that, and then I was in Texas a couple weeks ago. Couple weeks, I guess now. I was in San Antonio. Went to the
Right.
Menger Hotel,
Nice.
Alamo, that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. Menger Hotel, pretty awesome. Had kind of a cool experience there. They have this little like walkway area where they have these old phone booths, and sitting next to the phone booths is this phone. And best I could tell, well, I'll tell you what. So I'm standing there and the phone rings. And I thought, okay. So I just kind of looked at the phone and stopped ringing. Phone rings again. I thought, well, you got to answer the phone.
Gotta
The phone's
answer it.
ringing, right? So I walked towards the phone and I thought, well, I'm going to answer the phone. And of course, I answered the phone. There's nobody there. And I looked at the phone and I'm like, this phone isn't plugged into anything.
Oh,
So
that's
that was
cool.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
It would have been really
Mhm.
cool if, someone was on the other line, the spirit was on the other line and had something to say.
Right.
But it was still cool nonetheless that this just random phones started ringing. And so I kind of enjoyed that a little bit. San Antonio is pretty cool in general. The cemeteries are awesome. You know, I saw some, you know, some shadows in the cemetery. Couldn't get any real alone time in the cemetery. Sometimes I find cemeteries are best with fewer people and quiet
Yeah.
and just sitting back. And unfortunately, I didn't get that opportunity to spend too much time there. I wandered off, and, you know, they don't want you to wander off.
Yep.
But, you know, I wandered off as far as I could get. So that was, you know, that was pretty awesome.
Nice.
And if you go to Savannah, don't pass up the Paranormal Museum.
Oh, I guess I didn't know about that.
Yeah. I haven't heard of that one.
It's not been open very long, and they were gracious and they were very, very nice. And they let us do a lot of experiments and investigations in there. And they have this one room, and in this room is a doll whose name is Emerald Dean. And Emerald Dean, her story is that she is possessed by two spirits, a dark energy and another energy, more positive energy, and they are competing for her. And I have some great pictures on my website. Well, pictures not on my website yet, but on my socials. And we did several lives while we were there. And we had equipment set up, and we did some live streaming. I was there with War Party Paranormal, and then we had a couple of other War Party Paranormal members that were there also. And a couple of our members from War Party are also part of 305 Paranormal. So I know they streamed a lot of stuff on their pages as well. And we got a lot of really good responses. The energy in the room was just like off the charts. We were getting great responses on the Ovilus. We got direct responses to questions, so intelligent responses. And they have that room is kind of like in its own little separate room, and it says, you know, big caution when you're going in there. So I was like, "Ooh, this is good." I was excited about that. Anything that comes with a caution,
Yep.
I'm in.
It's good. Yeah.
It's got to be good. So I was really excited to see that because, you know, that was kind of a new experience for me. And we sat in there for a long time. And they had other guests that came into the museum, and they joined us in the room, which was also kind of cool, you know, non-investigators that were there to see something. And, you know, so that was kind of good. We got, like I said, we got direct intelligent response. We got our name, responses on the Ovilus, responses on the REM pod. And then we also had set up some, and we kept asking to knock something over. And we're just getting ready to leave, and the equipment goes floop. And I'm like, oh, waited all this time. We've been begging you to knock stuff over. And finally she did. And, you know, they have this little like velvet rope thing that I took as a suggestion to not cross. And so, of course, you know, I kind of hopped over the rope a little bit. They have cameras in there. And just so you know, there are cameras watching. And got right up to her and started talking to her about some of the jewelry that was in there and some of the tokens that people left. And I'm telling you what, she lit that place on fire with responses.
Wow.
She was happy. She wasn't angry that I was that close. So yeah, it was a really cool experience. So don't miss that, because they have not been open very long, and they're awesome. And
I wrote them down, so we're going to try to contact them and see if we can get them on the show.
yeah, like I said, they were
Absolutely.
very nice. You know, they have a little gift shop in there too, and they have some creepy dolls that have their, other than Emerald Dean, that, you know, that they have, and a lot of other very interesting pieces in there. Definitely worth the visit, and, you know, give yourself a little bit of time if you go, because they're knowledgeable, they're friendly, they're welcoming, and you can spend as much time as you want sitting in that Emerald Dean room and just feeling everything she's going to show you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I've learned from other investigators and you just now that I believe we all take ropes or signs and
Suggestions. Yeah.
just as suggestions. Yes. You know,
Yes.
that sign
Yeah, they're
has
suggestions.
closed at sunset is just a suggestion. The
And
the
it
rope
said,
is just
please
a
don't.
suggestion. Yeah,
Yeah. It said, please don't. It said, it didn't say absolutely do not. It said,
right.
please. And I was like,
Closed,
yeah,
like the dirt part is closed, not the road, right?
Right.
absolutely.
You know, and then how much
Absolutely.
is a trespassing ticket really? You know, like
I agree. And I've said the
250
same thing.
bucks.
Yeah.
You know,
What
I'd
are they
pay
going
that
to
to
do?
go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we all
It's a
chip in,
misdemeanor.
right?
Right. Well, good. And if this area is closed, like when we went to the Devil's Tree in Port St. Lucie, it's closed after dark. The park is closed. Well, we didn't park.
Exactly.
We
Yeah,
parked
you
somewhere
drove
else.
through.
We
Yep.
Ubered. They dropped us off.
Yep.
We snuck around. We walked around, and then we called
Oh.
an Uber. We didn't park.
Yeah.
We didn't
no,
even
I
get
know
out of
it.
the
I know
car.
it
We just kept
closed at
moving.
dark. I'm just, you know,
Yeah.
I'm making my way out of the park now that it's dark. You just
Right.
not
And, you
talking
know,
about how quick we're moving.
right. Yeah. It just took me 5 hours to make my way out of the
Exactly.
park.
Hey,
It's
Yeah.
just a warning ticket.
that's it.
Right. Yeah. Suggestions. Always courteous.
Absolutely.
I've dodged a few
Yep.
park
Yes.
rangers, but
Yes.
you know,
You want us to leave? We're leaving right now.
Yep.
absolutely. If you ask me to leave, I will leave.
Yep.
You have to find me first.
Yep.
So I'm usually pretty far back.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
I think we have our plan for next time, Aaron, is just, you know, dress in all black, have Des, you know, drive the rental. We get out at a stop or at an intersection, disappear into the woods, tell her, hey, we'll meet you back here in 2 hours. You know, and then we're good to go. We've got
Yep.
the thermal, you know.
I just hope my name isn't on a list. I hate lists.
Oh, our names are on
Right.
lists anyway.
Those are just
Oh.
warnings, though. They're not real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Till it doesn't say warning on there, and then it is.
You get a few, though. You get a few warnings first.
Like Angie said,
And
you know, just
I've-
split the cost and we're good. You know, how much did we
Yeah.
really pay to investigate the park for a couple hours, right? 50 bucks a
Absolutely.
piece.
Absolutely. I figure I made it to this age without having a record. I'll be all right.
Yep. And now it's all, you know, out there on the interweb. So this cannon will be used against us later.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll have to pull up. There's
Oh.
no footage. There's no footage.
Yep.
All right. So what's in the future for War Party?
Well, War Party right now is going through a little restructuring, which kind of happens when people have other, you know, their priorities change, their interests change. So we're going through a little bit of a restructuring. You know, no big deal. But
Yeah.
the great news is, you know, we're in Florida, so we're just getting, well, it was still 90 today, but cooler weather means we get out a lot more. So I'm really looking forward. We have an investigation this weekend. That's just going to be a small group of us. Some of the local, one of the local cemeteries that I visited a few times. We've all visited a few times, where that is always very active, and I can Canal Point, which has the mass grave for the victims of the 1928 hurricane in Okeechobee, Florida.
Mm.
So I think we're going to head out there this weekend, because fortunately the mosquitoes should be dying off, because that place is, whew, it is wicked mosquito bad. So I think we're going to head out there this weekend, kind of get ourselves kind of back into it. Like I said, we've had a little bit of a hiatus with some restructuring, but a few weeks, I don't know, God, I was in Savannah, then I was in Texas, but in between those two times, we went down to Coral Castle. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Coral Castle.
No.
Yes. One yes, one no. Okay. Well, Coral Castle has a great reputation of being haunted. It also has a very storied past of how it was built. And so we were really excited, small group of us, but really, really excited to go down there and check it out. Did. I wouldn't, from my experience, it wasn't really haunted, but energetically it was off the charts. As you know, as a psychic, as an empath, as someone who reads energy, I swear I felt like my whole body was just vibrating at an intensity.
Wow.
The girl, Nicole, that I work with a lot, who knows how to keep me focused and keep me moving, She said the first thing I said when I walked in, which I didn't even remember saying, was, "Oh my God." And from there, she said, "You were just like all over the place." Because I usually work pretty systematically when I'm checking something out for the first time, because I want to feel everything and then decide where I'm going to go back. And I was just zigzagging all over the place. I climbed on the wall. I went down in the thing. I was just all over the place. So energetically, one of the most incredible places that I've ever been.
Interesting.
Didn't get a lot of paranormal. Maybe if we had more time, maybe if it wasn't my first time there where I was just kind of zinging all over the place, still worth I mean, I give it a 10 out of 10 for really cool. I give it a 10 out of 10 if you want to feel energy like never before. My experience, not haunted, but really, really cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Nice.
great experience, though. Great experience.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So on the spiritual reading side, I've
Yes.
been following your page and checking it out. Let's talk about Tarot Tuesdays.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
tell us what that's about.
So basically, every Tuesday I present a new tarot card and what it means. Kinds of, it's a slow way to introduce people to tarot cards that might be interested, but there's 78 cards.
Yep.
It gets a little overwhelming, and a lot of times people think that they need to get the deck, learn the deck, and then be able to read themselves or even for friends and just automatically know what everything means. That couldn't be more far from the truth, and it can be a little overwhelming. So every Tuesday, I just introduce a new card and give kind of like a brief interpretation of what the card means. Of course, that's a generalized what that card means, because every card means so many different things based on where it comes out in your reading and what cards are around it. But that's
what I
just
was
something
just
that
gonna
I
ask,
find.
yep.
Yeah, I find that my followers really like that. It's actually the thing that gets the most attention on my socials, which I was a little surprised at, because I do have a lot of other content about the emotional trauma healing and red flags and, working on healing yourself spiritually and emotionally. But that's the one that gets the biggest response. So that's great. And starting, I think it's not tomorrow, Thursday, but the Thursday after, I have another segment that's starting on Thursdays that's actually how to read playing cards, because reading playing cards is the oldest form of kind of a tarot type divination. And it kind of faded away because it was considered very, in a derogatory way, a gypsy type of divination.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So fortunately, there is a greater sense that that kind of gypsy mentality isn't a derogatory mentality and not full of people that are not full of charlatans. So that's great. But so I started doing that too, to kind of introduce people that maybe wouldn't have ever realized that playing cards were a very early form of this, and that they don't have to necessarily buy tarot cards. You can learn what regular deck of playing cards means. And it's really cool because you get to play with the Joker, which, yeah. So that starts, like I said, a week from Thursday.
Nice.
So, yeah. So
That's pretty
I just
cool.
try to introduce people to a lot of different forms of divination, because they don't always know that some of the things that they incorporate into their everyday life are actually doing just that. So,
Nice.
yeah.
And so you're busy with, the business is busy, and you're good with the reading side?
Yeah, business is great. I love my business and I love my clients, and I always welcome new business, but I have a great business and I have a great location. I see clients in person. I also do phone readings and things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's fantastic. It's a part of me that I didn't know that I needed so much. Because working with people and helping them get through difficult times, and people don't usually come to a reader because everything in their life is fantastic and couldn't be
Right.
any better. You know,
Right.
they don't. So they're looking for guidance, understanding, and a way to move forward with something that they maybe don't understand or haven't been able to acknowledge previously. So being able to kind of help people, guide people through that and let them know that they have all the power. And a lot of times that's what makes us feel not so great, is feeling like we don't have power. This is what the cards are telling you today, but you have every opportunity to change that. This is where the energy sits right now. That energy doesn't have to stay there. Here's your
Kind of
information.
pointing down the road that you're on, but you can turn off at any time, right?
Absolutely. You can always turn it around. And knowing that you have that power, like I said, that feels good. And it feels like, okay, I'm not just sitting here. And there's a huge difference between fate. There's a huge difference between existentialism. And sometimes people think, well, I believe in fate and I believe in destiny. So do I. But I also believe that those things can exist and with existentialism. I know what my path is set out to be, but I have the power to change everything.
Right. Yeah. I think, just strictly believing in fate is actually, kind of depressing, right? Because whatever path you're on, if it's bad, then it's going to stay bad. There's no way out of it. And,
That's right.
you either ride it through or, it's going to get worse, right? And,
That's right.
being able to give people answers and, kind of give them direction. And yeah, I could see where that would be very fulfilling.
Yeah. Because we say, oh, well, that's fate. Okay. It is, but it doesn't have to stay that way.
Right.
So yeah, it's great to kind of, and it feels good to me too. It feels good to help people, but it also, I learn stuff every day. People come to me with a challenge that I didn't know that I need to conceptualize, and here I am.
I think everyone should. You don't know everything. You can always learn something, right?
Every single day.
Yep.
Every single day.
Well, Angie, thank you for coming back to our 1-year anniversary show.
Thank you.
Everyone go back and watch her show. It was great. Watch all of our shows again because they're all great.
They are.
Thank you. And we look forward to talking to you again.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Great insight on stuff. So
I appreciate that.
Thanks, Angie. It was great to see you.
Happy anniversary. See you guys soon. Thank you. And bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah. I have enjoyed all of our guests this year.
Same here. I learned so much, even just right now, kind of talking with Angie about fate versus existentialism and all that. And it's like, it's good to remember that you're not stuck in the direction you're going, right? You can make the change to your life and change how things are going.
I think all of us in the group this year have had a couple weeks or a few weeks where, things just didn't seem like they were going right, but yeah, you yourself can turn it around. Right. So that's, and in our group, we're not just a group of people who get together and do this. Like, we've become family,
Right.
I think you and I text each other like every single day, it seems,
Yep.
So, not only are we that group, but if someone needs something from our group, like,
we're right there
and we say something and, you need help or you need something, then we're going to do it.
Yep.
It's just how it is. I think that's what most of the people in this field will do. Like, if you really need help with something, you can reach out to, I'm just going to use this example. Like, if we ran into something and we weren't sure, we reach out to XX Paranormal. Hey, you guys are an hour and a half away. You want to come up and we'll work through this and see what's going on at this place or whatever,
Yep.
And that's what I like, there's also the other side where there's all the drama. And luckily, I think when you get this side of the Mississippi, it's a different mentality in people.
Different mentality, less congested.
Right. So they can keep that over there on that side, and we're going to be over here drama free.
Yep. Yep. And one thing, I'm kind of, we've talked about it before, but, really picking up on tonight with all the different guests coming on is that how many are, giving back to the field, right? You got Horn Paranormal that's putting out great equipment, not looking to, overcharge or anything like that. And, Scott is, he's building it from scratch,
Yeah. Yep.
to provide something good for the community, you know. And yeah, it's just, you know, everybody we've talked to on this show is really, you know, giving back to the community in one way or another. And that's really cool to see.
Yeah. Our next guests are from, you know, Angie's down in Florida. These guys couldn't get further away. They're
Yep.
on the other side of the country. We have Ryan and Brenda Woods from Paranormal Triage.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
how's it
Good.
going?
Good. How we doing, guys?
We're good.
Doing really well.
Good. So it's been a while since we had talked to you. Reach out and said, "Hey, we're doing a 1-year anniversary show. We'd love to have you." And you're like, "Yeah." So what have
Yeah,
you guys
we
been
were
up to?
excited to do it. So
Yeah, super excited. So thanks for
Nice.
having us back.
Of course. What have y'all been up to?
Well, I mean, as busy as we are with everything that's going on, we've finally finished up our mount. Well, the tip of the iceberg of Mount Shasta, which is one of the local mountains up here, and Pluto Caves that's associated with them. And we finished up that investigation and put it out, and realized that there is a host of so many different things that you can investigate up there, from UFO stuff to like the Lemurians, which is what we were kind of focusing on, and Bigfoot. I mean, there's so much things. So we'll probably end up back up there at some point.
and it's all kind of intertwined. So if you
Oh,
think
yeah.
you're going to go and you're just going to do one subject, yeah, it doesn't work out like that. So then it's like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
There's
Mountain
still
Shasta
Lemurian.
is kind of the mecca for you know, paranormal and strange occurrences. And
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I seen somewhere, I think it was on YouTube or something. Somebody's actually doing some kind of documentary on the Lemurians. So I just keep catching glimpses of it. So somebody's up there doing something.
so the
So-
Lemurians, that's the civilization that lives under Mount Shasta, correct?
That's what they believe. Yes, and they believe that Pluto Caves is one of the 3 or 4 different ways that you can find the entrance into the center of Mount Shasta to see Lemuria, which is where the Lemurians live. So, yeah, we tried. We didn't get any kind of, you know, red carpet access to the door to get into Mount Shasta, but we
Yeah.
certainly tried, and it was fun. You know, we hooked up with another friend investigator of ours, Zandine, who came out, and he does a lot of cool stuff about aliens and things, and it's all connected to the UFO. So it was a fun investigation, and we've got it up on our YouTube so people can check it out.
Nice.
Yeah, I've always been very interested in Mount Shasta, especially the reports of the UFOs that just fly right into the mountain and are gone. And
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of different folklore. Not only do you have, you know, settlers that came in the early days that were actually that started this whole story. You also have the Native American side of it, which is a little bit different. Kind of leads to the same path again, but their folklore is a little bit different, or their belief system's a little bit different, but still kind of leads to the same path. So
yeah, and I found it interesting that there's multiple sites, you know, around the world that are like that, right? Like you have Dulce in New Mexico, where you've got the you know, the underground military base, but then also, you know, it was believed there's a civilization under there. UFOs disappear into the mountain, and then you've got, you know, the famous Admiral Byrd story down in Antarctica, you know, flying through the ice cave and coming across this, you know, this oasis down there. So yeah, it's really strange how, you know, especially how separated, you know, they were for these legends to, you know, kind of come together like that.
yeah, we were trying to stick to the Lemurian story side of it, which we do have some of that in there, but we ended up touching on the IM movement too, which is a religious, I guess, organization, for lack of better words, that are pretty private up there and kind of.
I don't know if you've ever heard of the IM movement, but
I haven't.
So basically, it is a religious belief, where they believe in ascension, right? Getting you know, higher beliefs in. So they believe that, like, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, were all ascended masters, right? And that's the group. The IM group actually call themselves Lemurians. So that's how we came across it, because we were researching the actual Lemurians that live in the mountain, and then we found this group, and they are centered around Mount Shasta, right? But they also believe that they can access that center of the mountain and coexist with the, you know, the Lemurian people as humans, right? But from a spiritual standpoint, right? So they believe in meditation and crystals and being able to connect with that group of that society that lives within the mountain. And it was very interesting that there's actually like human beings that believe that they're part of that group as well.
Yeah, and their local bookstore has a whole wall dedicated to just that organization. It's crazy. They have all kinds of books.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a religious study, a paranormal investigation, a investigation on the myth of Lemuria, which is also connected to Atlantis. When you really go back and look at the story, it was a fun investigation.
Yeah.
It was difficult.
would
It took
be a
us a long
blast.
time, and the big part of it was going into Pluto's cave, and that cave runs 3.5 miles or so.
And it's treacherous. It's
And
not an
yeah.
easy, we took a ton of equipment kind of. It wasn't just simple equipment, but it wasn't like a lot. We thought we took just enough. It was complicated. Actually cut my head open a little bit. Not bad,
Oh,
but I
man.
bonked
Yeah.
my head on a rock because you're climbing up rocks and down rocks. And we did get a couple things in there. There was a lot of energy in that cave. It's connected to a volcano, so why wouldn't there be? But there's a lot of energy there. And we got a couple of little things in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
and
imagine the logistics for a cave exploration would be, something else. Because just even, the scientists going back there have a hard enough time, right? And now you're trying to
Yeah.
bring paranormal gear and
Oh,
all
yeah.
that with you.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a whole nother experience, right? We're used to maybe going into historical buildings or someone's private home and doing a paranormal investigation there. And, you have power, electricity, or you can set up your vehicles. You can have a little base station. Yeah, we couldn't do that with the cave, right? We had to, whatever we could strap on our back. And, it was a 1.5 miles or so that we hiked into the cave, and it was pitch black in there. So it's
Yeah.
like, it was a challenge to do just the visual research as well as the paranormal research. So, but it was fun, and that was a first for us, and
Yeah.
I think we'll go back for sure.
Yeah, I've done one cave exploration. It was in North Carolina. One of my buddies took me out there. It was on his family's land. And, we didn't go back nearly as far as you guys did. But, we got back there and, he said, all right, now let me show you what it's really like back here. And he turned off all
Yeah.
the lights. And you had never experienced darkness like you have,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Caves get
half
dark.
a mile back the cave. Yes.
It's
Right.
dark.
Yeah, and it's strange that there's really no life in there, right? Other than like some insect type life. But there, after a certain point, there was a few birds, and after that, there was nothing.
Nothing.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just quiet and dark, and so it's the perfect environment to use paranormal equipment. You just
Right.
got to trek it in there.
It used to go back farther than just the 3.5 miles.
Mhm.
At one point, way back in the day, I guess that was
It was in the 40s
Yeah.
that the government, the Geological Society, U.S. government, actually, blew it up with dynamite and sealed off a certain point of it because they didn't want people going any further.
yeah.
So,
Interesting.
Well, they're actually lava tubes, so they can go forever.
oh yeah,
If it's
Right.
formed at the base of Mount Shasta, you could probably walk miles in a lava tube. I don't know. I don't know how well you'd breathe. I don't know how far you get back, and that could have been the point to it. If you get too far back and not aware that now you're lacking oxygen, you're not probably
Right.
going to come out of it. So
Now,
Yeah.
is that something you had to worry about in your expedition? Was oxygen or built up
I don't
gas?
think we thought
anything
about
like
it.
that?
I don't.
No.
I don't think
Well,
we
I
really thought
mean,
about it.
it wasn't like the top of our list because it's not like it wasn't like you think of spelunkers going into caves where you're climbing on your belly, going through tight spots. This was big enough for semi trucks to drive through. It's giant.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot of trekking up and down and around boulders and things like that. So it's more like kind of rock climbing inside there to get into where we were. But it's huge.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
So it's very, very open. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think about the
Yeah, I don't think we thought about it, but I
harmful
mean,
gases.
being first responders, we're going to get to a point where we're going, okay, there's something going on. We
Yeah.
probably
Yeah,
shouldn't
you
go
can
anymore,
recognize
so.
some
Yeah,
symptoms.
we could recognize
Yeah. Did you guys? So one thing I've always been fascinated about Mount Shasta is the missing 411 case up there. Did you guys do any digging into that?
There's a ton of those cases. They didn't just end with that. And I think you're talking about the older men that were hiking up there, and the one guy wandered off and he just disappeared. There's 36 different missing people up there. And the most current one was about 3 months ago.
Oh,
3 or 4
Yeah,
months
3
ago,
or 4
maybe.
months ago.
dang.
So
Wow.
there's a lot of stories out there, and we did come across a YouTube channel. It's called Metaphysical, and you should go watch them if you really want to get to know Mount Shasta, because these guys they've got it down. They got it broke down.
They've
pretty
made
well.
it their mission to really dig into all of those things, and they break it down, and they break down the missing person stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of an interesting connection, though. They talk about being a small world. Is the most recent missing person case was actually a young man who was had just graduated the fire academy, which I'm one of the instructors of. So I was one of his instructors, and he just decided to go up there one day and went up there and has never been seen since.
Just gone. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's about 3.5, 4 months ago.
Yeah.
So no sign of him. I mean, search and rescue did everything, and that seems to be the kind of the common factors for all of these, 30 something missing cases that they can tie to, where there's zero evidence, right? Some of them, there's more than 30, but you can go back and you can find somewhere it's like maybe they found some evidence of blood or something like that, or something. But in these 34, I think it is total, there is just nothing, zero, completely disappeared.
Yep.
So that's definitely a mystery
That's crazy.
for sure.
Yeah, but it's a fun story. It's definitely something you can sink your teeth
Oh, yeah.
into and go down so many rabbit holes,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out your videos. I'll probably do that tonight because I've been on a kick of this kind of stuff lately.
Yeah,
But yeah, check our videos out. But Metaphysical, like I said, those guys have got it. They've been spend all day doing this because it's not simple to go through all the stuff that you could go through with Mount Shasta. It's complicated.
the cool thing about that channel is you can read everything you want about Mount Shasta. We dug into every avenue, every fork in the road, and it's kind of like the Cliff Note version. You pull up and you watch them, and they've spent the hours and days and months breaking down each one of those stories
Yeah.
to make it like digestible for normal people, right? Because we've got the paranormal thing understanding of that, but all the other stuff, it was a learning curve. We had to learn it in order to understand what potentially could be paranormal about those caves. So it was a fun video to make, but it took a lot of work.
And we did just the thing we did learn about it. This story goes all the way to probably the mid 1700s. I would say it's safe to say about the mid 1700s. So, but yeah.
Wow. Quite the history there then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very much. Very much.
But yeah, other than that, we've been doing some local stuff. We've been working with the Historical Society here. We met this guy, Ryan. He's the Ryan. He's the what is he?
He's on the board for the Historical Society, but he's like the main guy that kind of runs all of the cemeteries in town. So we linked up with him and ended up doing an event in one of his cemeteries right at the beginning of October to kind of showcase, paranormal investigations. So we've been able to kind of showcase and share to the general public how we do these things and the equipment we use. So it's been pretty fun. We've done 3 of those events in the last 3-4 weeks, and that's really cool just to share live in person what we do. 2 of them were panels where we kind of explained to people. They came in, and then one of them we actually did an investigation in a cemetery with a group of people, showed them how we do things. And that guy's hooked us up, so he's gonna get us into one of the original Masonic lodges here in town.
Cool.
Yeah, from I believe like the 1890s, something like
it's been there
that.
for a long time.
So it's one of the original buildings in this area. So he's a member there. He's gonna get us in there to do an investigation, which we really are looking forward to.
Nice. What's the goal for Paranormal Triage over the next year?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, we were kind of watching your last segment there and talking about people kind of going through things. We've been going through it.
Yes.
So we kind of came to a stalemate. We had our house broke down and our cars broke down, and just things were just like every 2 days something major was breaking down. So it kind of got us a little bit behind the curve. But and we'd done an investigation a year ago, and I just finished that video, but I kind of had to chop that up at the request of the family that we helped with this investigation. But it's a pretty good story. But I think we're getting ready to go to Tombstone, Arizona with Paranormal 24/7. Paul Perez and his wife. We worked with them on that last investigation in January, and we're going to go team up again in do some stuff down there with them, which is exciting. I've always wanted to go to Tombstone, so I'm pretty
I
Yes,
see
excited.
Aaron
that's-
shaking his or nodding his head up there in the corner. Yep, that is his number one place right there.
I love
Yeah.
that place. We've been down there several times. Unfortunately, it's probably not our default vacation place anymore. The stepson was stationed in Tucson, so we go down to see him, and then we go Tombstone. Well, now
Yeah.
he just got stationed to Alaska.
Oh no,
Ah.
that's a
The
little
wife
cool.
is excited about that. She loves that, and she has a friend that lives up there. Just not my gig. So
Yeah,
I like
I'd
the
like
Old
to see
West.
the wells and stuff, but I
But
don't like the cold weather.
you're
Yeah,
gonna
I'm-
love Tombstone.
Yeah, Virginia City is another bucket list for us, as we'd like to go there because we go there to visit and stuff like that. But
Yeah, the Bucket of Blood Saloon in Virginia City is
Nice.
on our list of stuff to get done. And surprisingly, it's only 2.5, 3 hours away from
Yeah,
us,
about
so it's
that.
actually pretty close. A lot closer to us than Tombstone is. But I'm really looking forward to Tombstone. It's a good group of people we're going out there with, and it'll be a fun investigation for sure.
Yeah. It's a super cool place. Everything except the bars roll up at like 5 o'clock.
Oh.
When there's a full moon, we were lucky enough to be there during a full moon. Got some great photos at 1 and 2 in the morning.
Nice.
The
No
bloody
UFOs?
corner. What's that?
No UFOs or anything.
No
like that?
UFOs. No, but the bloody corner on Allen Street. I mean, sit there and just sit there. Like there's
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
else going on. So you can just take it in.
Wow.
I think you'll have a good time.
Hope so. Yeah, I think we will.
Yes. And that's coming up at the end of November, so pretty quick. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it'd be a nice time to go down there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is that a good time to be there?
Oh yeah. It'll be nice and warm and not too hot. And yep. So perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, we will make sure that we point everyone in the direction of your YouTube so they can watch the Mount Shasta stuff. And we really appreciate you all coming on to the anniversary show.
Oh, no
Well,
problem.
thank you for having us.
Congratulations.
You guys
So,
have done some awesome stuff. We really enjoy watching all of your content. So you guys keep it up. We'll come back for how about the 2000, the 3000?
Sounds good.
Nice. Thanks, guys. Have a good
Thanks
night.
a lot, guys. It was great seeing you.
it was good
Good to
seeing
see
you.
you.
Thanks.
I know that's your gig. You like that.
Yep. I
Going
started
out
nerding
and-
out. Yep.
It's good. Like you do. Because I don't know that stuff. That's what I like about this. We bring on people that I always go towards the cryptids and the Bigfoot type stuff. I mean, that's the way you want to go. Paranormal is where I'm going. Haunted locations. We'll talk to people. I mean, it's so cool to be able to bring all these different people that investigate or do research on different things, right?
Yep.
And get to learn something new too. So,
Yeah, and it really shows how wide the field is too, right? Because you hear paranormal investigation, you think sitting in a dark house with a REM or an EMF meter, and really it goes so much further than that.
Mhm.
And like Ryan and Brenda spending all this time at Mount Shasta, and just in 15 minutes, how much, or how many different directions that investigation took, and
Right.
how many paranormal investigations take you a mile and a half back in a cave, right?
Right. Yeah. As a Boy Scout, I remember doing like a candlelight tour at Cave of the Wind. And we went in this big room and okay, everyone blow out your candles and
Yeah.
Just put me in a house with the lights off.
Right.
That's
Easy access to
dark.
get out of there. Yep.
you don't
Yeah,
get much
yeah.
darker than down in a cave,
No.
So
Yeah, I said it's a different kind of dark doing stuff like that. And
yeah. So going off with the not paranormal or paranormal, our next guest, we've had the privilege of having her on the show and being able to do stuff locally with her. Just this month, you were sick and unable to, but we did a paranormal panel at the Laramie County Library. Our next guest is Victoria J.
hey, Victoria.
Hi, guys.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good. Good to see you again.
How about you, Jason? You weren't feeling so good.
Yeah, I'm over it now. I know I was bummed. I
Yeah.
was so looking forward to doing the panel, and then yeah, it was like the day before. I just got hammered with
That's
whatever
real.
bug was going around. So yeah,
It's that haunted house.
yeah, yep,
You caught a spiritual bug.
yep, something.
So, like I said, we had the panel with you and Carrie Bergen. What a
Mhm.
great event, and being able to actually sit down and just discuss the paranormal. We had, I think, somewhere around 60 people that came and listened to us talk, and it was a great time.
Mhm. For several days after, I had people be like, "Oh, the paranormal panel, is that weekly?" And I'm like, "No, it's just something we did for Halloween." But the community rather seemed very interested, so that's super cool to see.
Yeah, lots of good questions that came out of the people that came to watch. Besides just the panel questions that we had.
Hmm.
So,
Next year, Jason.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mhm.
I'll get myself like one of those little bubble rooms for like 2 weeks
Nice.
before, and I'll just look in
Yeah,
the
for
bubble.
all of October, right?
Yep,
the boy in the bubble,
yep. I'll
Nice.
be bubble boy.
he bouncing around in the haunted house.
Oh, I'd raise hell in the bubble. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, so let's see. I think your book came out after we had you on,
Hmm.
the newest one. So let's
Yep.
hear about your book.
Well, it's the same book. It's just better organized, and more perfect, and the way that I wanted it. The first book, unfortunately, I ran into some editing issues, and I opened it up one day, and it had a mistake on the first page, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Oh,
So I don't know what happened. Hard to say, but that's okay. I still sell it because it's all good information. It's just not perfect, and this one's perfect. But I'm working on my second book right now.
what's that about?
That's going to be about demonic fantasy and tracing where people are getting some of these really weird ideas that are deeply inaccurate about demons and demonology, and seeing if I can find where they're coming from.
Yeah, so during our collab event, we talked about that earlier with XX. We had you up to do a presentation on demonic fantasy. Can you hit just a couple highlights for everyone?
Sure. So, mainly, I think demonic fantasy really got going it really started back in the early modern era with witch hunts. That's where witches started to be associated with demons, and it all sort of took on a life of its own and was used to hurt women, especially healers and cunning folk. But then as time went on, it sort of faded in the background of Catholicism, the whole idea of exorcism. So by 1973, when The Exorcist came out, it wasn't as done. A lot of people didn't really know much about exorcism. It had kind of died out, but not completely. The movie reawakened that, and then we had The Omen in 1976, Amityville Horror in 1979, and from there, I think demonic fantasy got much, much worse because now here was this new fear of something in our world that we would not be able to stop from a secular point of view. Because if you really look at the Western world, it's quite secular. Like religion isn't really a part of the day to day. But if you were having something terrifying and supernatural happening, you'd probably turn to the church or a church. Doesn't have to be the Catholic Church. So those are really that is a very brief history of how that sort of came to be. But from what I'm noticing now, demonic fantasy grows and then wanes and then grows again. And it seems like we're heading towards a second satanic panic.
Mm.
It's funny. I was just thinking about that the other day. Well, I'm sorry, not the other day. I'd say over like the past year. I've always
Mhm.
been a fan of exorcism movies. And yeah, for a while, there weren't any, and now, it's coming back again. They revamped The Exorcist. You got the Pope's
Mhm.
Exorcist, was a big one. And there's
Mhm.
been, I think, 5 or 6 more that have come out, and yeah, it's kind of interesting to see that ebb and flow.
Mhm. It is, yeah. So the way that this project came to be is that I was looking at the 2000s. I had done a article for Hear Us Scream on 2000s movies and how they were really obsessed with like Christian secrets and what are the Christians hiding from us, or if not the Christians, what about the church? What does the church know that we don't? And I was like, that's very interesting. I wonder what was going on. And then it hit me. It was like, oh, people thought the world was ending. I was alive during
Mm.
that time. It was a totally weird time to be alive.
Yep.
People really thought that was a thing. And then it didn't happen. And I've been through like 3 or 4 more end of the worlds since then. So I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it.
There's been a few. Yep.
Like,
Yep.
isn't there supposed to be another one with some spaceship
Today.
coming or something?
Yeah,
Oh,
today with
great.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, 3 Atlas. Yep. It's
That's
yeah,
right.
it's
Yeah.
supposed to be making its way around the sun today. And there was a Harvard professor that said if you have vacation at work, I would take it before October 29th because it's probably not going to matter after that. I'm
Mhm.
not going to lie,
And
I took a day off today.
I just happened to
because
be off today.
nice. Yeah, I took it off just because more of it felt so weird, with the Mayan calendar ending. I was working in the
Mhm.
oil field and I had to go out for that. And it was like, oh man, I'm going to be like 500 miles from home if anything happens. I didn't like, of course,
Mhm.
obviously nothing did. Right. Like, and so I
Right.
was like, yeah, what the heck? This is the first end of the world I get to take a day off for. So
There you go. Might as well. Mhm.
yeah.
So on this
But yeah, so
demonic
we grew from there.
path, the chances of a demon being in a house or at an investigation, what are those chances?
5% or less. They are incredibly rare. It's just
And when
not
you figure
something.
how many teams are out investigating and investigations over a year, that's pretty slim.
Mhm. I'd say so. We haven't had since my publish was or I'm sorry. Ugh. Since my thesis was published online, um I have only come across one case that sounded like it could be demonic. And this is like hundreds and hundreds of people who have reached out. And I think it's more pervasive that people believe it's a demon and that's all it could possibly be than be open to the possibility that, oh, maybe this is something else and it is capable of possession.
Do you feel that with a weekly television show and people seeing something like that, that it pushes them towards that? As you laugh
I do
over
think
that.
so. I don't want to be sued, so I'm not going to name names.
Yep.
But
Right.
No, just a show.
some TV shows in the paranormal have realized that if you push the demon angle, you will get views because it ups the ante. It makes everything much more exciting and dangerous.
Yep.
But the problem with that is that it did kind of prime audiences to believe that any anomalous phenomena is demonic, like by default.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So going along with demonic fantasy, how has trying to think of how to put it, Ouija boards, stuff like this where everyone, believes it's dial a demon, right? You use a Ouija board, you're going to get a demon.
Mhm.
How easy is it really to conjure something that powerful into existence?
Not at all, actually. When it comes to Ouija boards, they would be sort of like a foothold to possibly contacting something. I think people believe that that's what's on the other end of every single session, mainly because of The Exorcist, that it gave people a way to name their fear and to be like, oh yeah, it's because she played with a Ouija board. It was a plot point.
Yep.
And there's no evidence in the actual Roland Doe case that The Exorcist was based off of that there was a Ouija board at all involved. So we don't really know what happened in that case. Has never been any specific reason. But in the movie, we were given a reason and we took it and ran with it. But when it comes to actually contacting something, the chances are fairly low that it would be a demon. It's not impossible, just improbable, because demons need really big doorways to come through. A Ouija board would be a lot more like a foothold. So they would need much greater permission to infest someone's life.
So going from infestation to influence, what would be the difference there between, maybe a demon or a demonic presence influencing, actions of a person versus, actual possession or infestation of a building?
Infestation is more like if you think of just even like a pest infestation, it's infesting the environment. So things will start to go wrong and they will move into much more powerful manifestations as you keep going. When it comes to oppression, that's when people start to really be affected. They usually pick out one person to focus on and put pressure on. And it might change their behavior a little bit because they're having this thing sort of breathing down their neck, trying to force them into giving up control. But it takes time for that process to happen, for possession to happen. So I would never say that a possession would be quick if it were a demon. If it were something else, they don't have the same rules, like jinn, for instance.
And there's different, like the jinn and a demon and just a regular spirit. There's different levels of, correct? I mean, like levels of demons.
I actually wouldn't even call them demons. Like when I define demons, it's always like that horrifically evil, hyper intelligent. People know them from Christian iconography, but it's a very specific malevolent type of spirit, very powerful. But in history, we've seen misclassification with jinn where they were lumped all together along with every other spirit that was roaming around at the time when the Yahweh cult was starting to become much more powerful and later grew into Christianity. It all became a demon. And there was no separating them because anything that was not of God had to be a demon. So they were called demons, a lot of jinn. And I think the Goetia and the Lesser and Greater Keys of Solomon, which actually I think that's the same thing. But either way, the magical grimoires that call them up and say that they will help humans, they, I think, are jinn. Because a demon would never help a human being unless it was forced to, and that takes a high level dark magic.
Interesting. So much to really know, and I know you have done so much research to be able to know this too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's a lot.
It is. And I'm sure we could keep going on. Just wanted to touch base again and bring you in and get some of those highlights.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I know you've done some cons in the past. Or anything for the next year coming up that you're going to be at that you know of?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm going to be at the end of June at Haunted America in Alton, Illinois for my second year in a row. It was so fun the first year. And then I'm going to be for the first time at Mass Paracon over in Taunton, Massachusetts. It's Sam Baltrusis' event, and I'm so excited.
Awesome.
Yeah. I've seen Sam on TV. I would love to meet him in person. Seems like such a genuine
Oh, for
person.
sure.
Yeah.
He is so sweet. Absolutely
And
love
you'll-
him.
And you'll be speaking at both of those?
I will.
Awesome. So if you're watching, be sure to be able to get one of those if you want to hear Victoria talk about all the demon stuff, really. I mean, demon folklorist, she's done her research, you know what she's talking about, and we are so lucky to have you in town. We had you at the collab event and you did a presentation. We're getting ready to start working on an episode where we're going to have you on as an interviewee, and we're excited for that.
Yeah, for sure. Can't wait.
Nice.
So where can
Victoria,
everyone find your? Sorry, Aaron, real quick.
go
Where
ahead.
can everyone find your books at, Victoria?
For right now, I'm not currently selling them, but they can be found through Amazon, Barnes and Noble, even the American Hauntings Inc. website. Just depends on where you want to get it from.
nice.
But I do sell them at events. I'm not selling them online at the moment. I haven't had time to set up a store.
Yeah.
Yeah, we understand. This seems like
So-
everyone we've had on says this year has just gone
2025 is
quick.
weird. Yeah.
It's been
And
a weird
nothing got
year. Pretty much. We're trying though.
We are.
We are.
Yep. So we look forward to getting with you to do some interviews. And again, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, it was great
Have a-
seeing you. Thanks, Victoria.
Yep. See you guys later.
A wealth of knowledge right there.
Yes.
And I know it could have kept going and going. Like,
Oh, I had like 10 more questions in queue. Yeah.
the good thing is she's here. You
Yep,
know,
she
we
is.
have
and
access
that's so
to
cool
her.
to have someone, of that knowledge local.
Right? Yep.
God, I mean, yeah, the hours, days, weeks she's put in. Like she said, she did her thesis on this stuff.
Right. Yeah. We're getting ready to finish out the show. If it wasn't for Way Out West, we probably wouldn't be doing a show. We brought
Right.
Gene and I started the group. We brought you in. Such a great addition. Like your brother, man. Like there's
Yep,
no other way to
likewise, man.
describe it. Like
Likewise.
it's awesome. We do stuff outside of WoW.
Yep.
And it's so great. This year, let's just do this. Here, we're going to bring in the rest of the team to finish out the show. So this
Hello.
year, of course,
Hello.
Gina and I started this years ago. When we first met, we were like, hey, I have an interest in the paranormal. And hey, I do too. And, we've spent like anniversaries in Salt Lake City at the Fear Factory investigating. Tombstone, Arizona. Proposed to her on a ghost tour in Prescott, Arizona. So that's what the paranormal means to us or has done for us. Having that interest and doing that. 2020, get invited to an event, and I'm like, I'm going to start something. So started Way Out West. Brought Jason in the last couple of years, and then in February last year, Jackie decided we had Jackie with us for quite some time. Jackie decided she needed to step away to take care of some family stuff, and we love Jackie, and you got to do what you got to do. Family always comes first, So we put it out there, and good old Michelle comes on. We should have known when she pulled up to the building that she was the one because her license plate says Ghost Hunter.
Ghost Hunter.
Yeah,
It was a
we
trial
did.
by fire. Yep.
Yeah, interview process was an hour and a half investigation. It was like she was an old pro. She just fell right into the team. Michelle, thanks for coming into the team.
Yes, I love it so much. You guys are amazing.
Yeah.
So-
it's
Back at
great.
you.
Got my
we-
solo buddy. We both knock out solos on investigations.
Yes.
which is hilarious because the first solos at Dumas were Gina and I. I know you guys were like, "Oh man, come on!"
Damn it! Yeah.
And I was like, oh, crap. You said put it out to the universe. So that's what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
So if it wasn't for the team, we wouldn't have the podcast. Again, I said it earlier in the show. Hey, let's do a podcast. That'd be interesting. Yeah, I've been wanting to do a podcast. Okay, we're starting it this date. And we did. And now it's actually been over a year. It's about 54 weeks now because we were doing the paranormal panel on the 15th. The 16th would have been a year.
Yep.
But everyone that has been on has been absolutely amazing. We love all of our guests. Know that if you've been on the show and we come to your state, we're going to get a hold of you.
We're hitting you up.
And we're going to be like, come investigate with us. Or,
Yep.
hey, we're coming to your state. Where can we investigate?
Well, congratulations to the two of you for doing this for an entire year and all of the guests that want to come on because you're such amazing hosts. You represent
you.
Way Out West so well as just the Cheyenne community. And like you always say, the west of the Mississippi, you guys let the rest of the country, the world, know how wonderful we are. And thank you for doing that.
Well, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks. So to finish out the show, we've all kind of talked about it before. We all kind of have bucket list places that we would like to investigate. So Gina, how about and I know everyone kind of has one in the States and one overseas. So let's do the States and the overseas one.
Gosh. Okay. Well, I've said it 1,000 times. People are probably sick of hearing it, but overseas, I am very intrigued by the suicide forest. I want to someday check that out and see what the stories are that come out of there for me. Stateside, a little closer to home, really, the Villisca Axe Murder House. So intrigued by the story of that and would like to check that out.
That just might happen. We'll see.
Maybe. We'll see.
Michelle, you're in the States place?
In the States is definitely Waverly Hill Sanatorium outside of Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
It was a tuberculosis hospital for many years, and there were a ton of deaths in there, and that the building itself is just massive. If we were to go there, we'd probably have to do a couple of days at least just to be able to cover all the ground. But yeah, I think that place is crazy cool.
We would probably have to take out a loan to get it for a couple of days.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to do an event every week this year.
Every week.
Who wants to fund our trip?
Right?
Right.
Oh, yeah. And then how about overseas? Anywhere?
I think that I can't remember the name of it. It's like the Doll Island in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be really creepy and awesome
fun.
to check out. And it's covered in spiders, so you would love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Gina sent you the picture the other morning, right?
Yeah, she did. I was like,
I sprayed a
may or
couple
may
rooms,
not.
but we never found it. So yeah, I'm freaking out.
Well, hopefully he's just hiding out and leaving you alone.
Hopefully he
Aaron hopes he's
inhaled and
dead.
we're good.
Yeah.
I remember it was
Jason?
like probably 6 or 7 years ago. There was a massive wolf spider, and I went to kill it, and it disappeared. And I tore apart the living room until I found that thing because there's no way I'd be able to go to sleep. Because once you try to kill it and you fail, they're coming for you. That's how I see it. Yep.
Oh, my studio's in the basement with it. You don't know what it's like every time I come downstairs this week.
Hey, at least it's not mom's basement. Anyway,
Nice. Jason, Kim, hold on real quick. She just put thanks, and it was fun listening to everyone, and it was great having you guys on.
yeah,
The
likewise,
Horns are
guys.
always great people for us, and we love you guys. Jason, what's your in the States place?
The Garnet House Hotel is moving up the list. I started looking into it more after we had that guest a few weeks ago.
And Paranormal told us about it. Yep.
Paranormal telling us about their experiences there. I started looking in, and that place seems crazy. Yeah, right now it's kind of my current obsession with getting out there. So I'm going to say the Garnet House.
Wyatt Earp, Pat Masterson stayed there. Like, yeah, I would totally be down. And overseas.
Oh, it's got to be the Haunted Forest in Romania, Hoya Forest. Even more so now. I watched the expedition. I think it was Expedition Unknown. There's so many expeditions now. Where they went out there, Expedition X. They went out there, and there's that circle, in the middle of the forest that nothing grows. And they've done a lot of studies on it, can't figure out why. They brought ground penetrating radar out and actually found that it could be a massive unmarked grave site. Still weird that nothing grows there. So yeah, that's always been one that I would love to get out there and check out, because not only is it paranormal, there's UFO sightings and different cryptid sightings out there. So it's kind of, the perfect place for me.
Well, and if you're doing Romania, then you go Vlad the Impaler, and
Yep.
yeah, I mean,
Yep.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be terrible to have to take a side trip there, right?
Horrible. So, all right, so that leaves me. In the States, District 6 Police Precinct in Detroit. Crazy stuff there, like prisoners and doors slamming and cells slamming. So, and then overseas, like Gina, everyone's probably heard this every time we talk about it, Lep Castle in Ireland. So, yeah. There's Kim. Take me with you.
Hey, there we go. Collab trip. Let's do it.
Yeah. We could do Romania and Ireland, right?
We could.
I mean,
yeah.
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 So,
and then Japan.
International trip.
Jump. Yep. There we go.
There we go. That would be quite the trip. And the food.
Yes.
Food. That would be amazing.
If we could ever quit our day jobs, maybe we could do that.
Yeah.
GoFundMe coming soon.
So one of the questions that I asked a few of our guests is what's their plan over the next year, or what do they have planned over the next year? For Way Out West, we got together to investigate places. So that's our plan, is to do some investigations, film those, get those out to you guys on the YouTube channel. We have some stuff from earlier in the year that we are going to start working on. We're just finishing up an edit from November of last year. Winter's here, so we're home a little more, not out. That gives us a chance to do a little more of that stuff. Events, we're still going to host some events. I would like to do maybe a few less events that are a little bigger, or have a little more substance to them. I know we have talked about one recently as a team, where we host a dinner and some other stuff. So look for stuff like that. And of course, something for the teens. We always do the Ghost Hunting 101 for teens. It's a great event. And I like hearing the questions that they come up with when we do the investigation part.
It's so cool.
It is, because it's stuff that I've been floored. I'm like, I would have never thought of that question, so there we are with that. Every Labor Day we travel, we've talked about that, and who knows where we could end up this year. We know where we're going to go.
Somewhere cool.
We're going to keep that a secret until that comes out, or we do a podcast about it after we've been there, like we did with Gettysburg.
Maybe we'll do a live when we're there. We'll see.
Oh, definitely. This year we did take that trip to Gettysburg. Such an amazing place. My second time, y'all's first time, and wow, what can we say?
Yeah. Well, the entire trip, going to see Leakin Park in Baltimore, that was a heavy place.
Wild. Yeah.
Yeah. You get out and it's beautiful, but man, the feeling is just dark.
Yep. And I know we've said it before, but you know, they say you go out there to bury a body, you're going to dig up a body. And where do we park? Right next to a murder scene. You know, like
Yeah.
Making memories.
Yeah.
making memories. Yep.
With our Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
You know, and again, it wasn't just us four. You know, Gina and I, of course, are a couple, but Graham went out and Des went out. And, you know, it's a big family, you know,
Yep.
and that's, you know, thank you guys for joining me on this ride. Because this is what I wanted to do when Way Out West started, was have a great
man.
team. And we do.
Keep the crazy train coming.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have some great guests lined up for next month already. Next week, we will not. Let me see here. For 29th. Yes. Next week, we will not be on Wednesday. We will have a special episode that's on Thursday. That's when our guest can do it, and we would accommodate him for sure.
Yep.
We're going to have Richard Estep on. Richard has written like 35 to 40 books on the paranormal and haunted history. And I am really looking forward to talking to him.
That's going to be an awesome show. Yep.
So, you know, some places were brought up just tonight. I'm writing down places to contact.
Yep.
Savannah Paranormal Museum. Plan on us reaching out and getting someone on here. You know, so
Yep. We talked to Paranormal Triage about Mount Shasta. Maybe we can get them back on to talk. And that I wrote down the channel. It's not on my screen right now, but that channel that did all the digging in.
Right.
Yeah, that place is fascinating.
Yep. So watch for our events, Way Out West page, Unraveling page. And guys, thanks for watching us for a year, and get ready for some new guests this year.
Yeah, wouldn't be here if it wasn't for everyone that's come on and everyone that watched. So thank you very much.
Thanks, girls, for following us too.
Yes.
My pleasure.
All right, everyone. Thanks and have a good night.
All right. See y'all next week.
Bye.
Unraveling the Darkness would like to thank Horn Paranormal Research and Twinkle Twinkle Little Store for sponsoring our show. If you're craving more paranormal content, don't forget to check out our YouTube and Facebook channels at Way Out West Paranormal and Unraveling the Darkness. You can catch all of our episodes of Unraveling the Darkness on Apple Podcasts, Facebook, and YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe, as it helps others find the show and join in on the paranormal fun. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, keep your lights on, stay safe, and remember, the truth is out there, and it might just be closer than you think.